we are going to build vehicle detection. So afterwards I will build car speed detection using this. So you can see it also counts all the vehicles and does all the operations. So let's see how to make this. So first I will just clear the code. So here what I have, so here I am using some modules, so which are opencv and opencv-contrib. So first you can use this fix if you use this fix for making this program. And here I have this mp4 file. These both files link you will get in the description. So for the main.py, what I will just do is say here from trackers I will import everything, means this file which I have, I will import all. So tracker means this file. So if I just so in this thing I will create a class for the detection, and if I just say here import math, and here we'll create a class. So we are building our own tracker. So the tracker name, which will be Euclidean distance tracker. Yep. And then inside this class I will create an initializing function. So what it does that when we just call this class, it will run it. So it's just like a initialization. So inside this what I will just do is create some variables. So first I will create my center point. Let's see, center points. Yep. So here what I will just do is set this as let's keep it as dictionary. We can also keep it this as a list. So let's keep it as a dictionary. And then the next thing which I will do is also add an ID count right over here. So for the counting which we do, for that we will require ID count. So inside this I will add 0 and save this. So what I will do here is initialize that. If I say here tracker equals to my Euclidean distance tracker, and now if I say here tracker dot, so here we have a center points. So that's currently a blank list. So if I show you, it will be a blank list. So let me just run it. So here we get a warning, but the code works. So this warning was because of that IMP. So it was just a recommendation from the VS Code. That's why we got the error. So now it should be gone. Yep. So here we have our blank dictionary printing. If I say here ID count, so I will access that variable also, right? So that means everything we have done right now works. So let's create a basic video capture. So you can also use here webcam. So I will say here webcam is using. So here in this what I will just do, here I will set it for false. And here's my default video capture. If the webcam is using is true, then what you can just do is create here an variable, and in that I will add cv2.video capture, something like that. And inside this what I will just do, so first let me just import cv2. Yep, So inside this I will add my main camera, and just below it I will say else. If it's false, then what you can just do is use the video which I have, which is the video capture, and inside this just specify your video name, which is highway.4. So now if we see, we will get a capture. So to show the video, what I will just do is say here while true. So this is a while loop which will be running till we press Q, means till we exit. So I will just add here and wait key. So we will add a delay of 30 milliseconds because the video is a bit fast, and here we'll say if key equals to 113, which means 113 is Q, and inside this I will say break, means it will exit the function, that will close the window. So here we'll say underscore image, and here we'll say cap.read, and here we'll run a im show cv2.show, and here we'll say window name as image and image. Yep. So if I run this now, then you will see that the video is appearing right now. So what you can just do now is we can work on our tracker.py. So after initializing the function, so I will create here an method, and that method will be an update method which will perform all our things that I need. So inside that I will ask it for the object rect, means bounding box or anything you can call it, and inside this what I will just do is just create a variable obj bounding box IDs. Yep, so that will be as blank list. So in further I will append some values into this list. So I will say here for rect in object rect, there we go, and here what I will just do is say here x, y, width and height, and this will be as the rect. And what I will do just below is I will get the center x. So to get the center x means we get the right bottom corner of the rectangle. So this xy is the right bottom corner, so that's why I have called it rect. But if we want the center one, then what we have to do is perform a simple calculation, which is x plus x, and then I will add here width, and we will divide it by itself. So similarly we can do this for y also. So for the y also we will do here y plus y. So this is also very simple, and here we will add height instead of width. So now we have center x and y, so this will be our main x and y, and for some accuracy what you can just do is add and same object detected or not. So for now I will keep it as false, and just below what I will just do is create here an for loop. Inside that I will get the ID and the points, and in cell dot center points. So inside this what I will just do is, so let me just see. Yep, so it's a dictionary, that's why we will have to do items right over here. So that will give us the items of the dictionary. So what I will just do inside this for loop, is I will just calculate the distance first using the math.hypout method. If you have seen my previous method, then you will know what is this. So then what I will do over here is simply say here cx minus pt and cy minus pt. So what this will do is give us the distance between the both things. So one more thing that I will just access something like that. Yep. So now what I will just do is next thing after getting the distance between it. So first after that, I will also add some value into the center points. But first let's do the simple calculations. So here I will say if the distance is the less than greater than sign and then the 25, and inside this if loop what I will just do is say here self dot center points, and here what I will access is the IDs. From ID I will access the element. So in that it will be something like the first element, last element, something like that. So from that only I am accessing, so it's very simple. And then what I will just do is add my center values into it. So I can do the further calculation. So what I will do in further is I will simply do here, I will just access my obj, the list, and then I will just append here some values. And what will be the values? Which will be the x, y, width, height, and then the ID. So here we have our object and we have the bounding box of it, and here we have our ID. So something like that I have kept the name. And here what I will just do is say here same obj loop. So means what we have done is created an object, so that's created, it could be same, so that's what we are telling it. So the next what I will just do is break it, and just after this what I will just do is create here an if loop somewhere over here, and inside this if loop what I will just do is say here if same obj is detected is false, then what you can just do is continue the operation which you want to do. So here I will say self dot center points. Here I will access my self dot id count, and from the id I am accessing it, and here I will say equals to, so inside that I will add the cx and cy. So the next thing what I will just do is just after doing this, just below it I will say here obj and the bounding box and the IDs, and here we'll say dot append. So same thing I will just append right over here. Yep. So but here I will say self dot id count, something like that, and here also everything is okay. And then the next thing what I will just do is add an id count, something like that. And then what I will just do next after this then I will say here new center point. Yep. So what I will just do here also I will define a blank dictionary. So inside this dictionary what we will just do is first we will add the values, then we will define it into the the current center points. So what I will just do, we will just replace those. So to do that, what I will just do is get my bounding box and IDs, and that will be inside my object bounding box IDs. So from inside that, what I will just do, I just need and separate ID. So here I will say ID, and what I will just do for the ID, I will say here bounding box ID. So what I will just do, so here let's rename it to something like obj ID, something like that. So that will be a bit clear code. So the next thing what I will just do is say here center point. So let's just say here center, and I will say self.center points. And what I will just do from this list, I will access from obj ID, I am going to access. And then the next thing what I will just do is say here new center point, and here what I will just do is say here obj ID equals to the center, something like this. So what we have just done is created a new center point, and we are just replacing this value. So we have just created this and we have just added this into the center points. Then what I will just do is replace this with our current brand new center point. So here what I will just do to do that, I will say here self.center points, and here I will say equals to the new center point dot copy. So I'm just replacing it with the new center point, and I will just return here my object bounding box ID. So everything else what I will just do is get it by the self command from tracker dot and etc. By that I can get everything. So this was our tracker function. So let's go to our main.py part. So in the main.py, what I will just do is first here, just over here, after creating my tracker, here what I will just do is here my object detected. So here what I will just do is use a opencv function, which is create, and here we'll say background, create background subtractor emoji2. So actually I will use my normal subtractor, that will also work. So here I will say create background subtractor, and inside this function, which inside this what I will just say here is history, it's one argument of it, here will say equals to 100, and here will say variable threshold, and this will be equals to 40. So now if I run it, so yep, so here we get an error. So let me just check this out, what's the error is. So the V was supposed to be small, that's my mistake. Yep, so here we have it. So what I will just do after this, in the while loop, I will come over here, and here we will write the main code that we need. So first I will get my height and width, and I don't need the channeling. Here we'll say image.shape. So using this, what I will just do afterwards, that you will know, and what I will just do is create a cropped image which is called ROI. So I will just select a section of the image, then scan it. So then what the sequence is the x, y, then what we need is width and height. So here I will just specify the x, y and width and height of an rect. So you can also use it as a rectangle, something like that it works. So here what I will just do, it's somewhere over here. Here I will say 340 colon. So it's so simple. So here I will say 720, and then the second argument will be just simple as that. So inside this, what I will just do is say here 500 by 800, right? So now we have cropped a portion of that. So now also I will add IM show. If I show you, so here I will say ROI, and here also I will add ROI. So if I run it, so here you can see the cropped image. So this is the section, when it comes it will detect it. So that's what I have done, is I have just selected a portion where the car comes, then we will detect it. So this will give us some more better accuracy. So just you select according to you. So you can also change these values if you want. And then the next thing what I will just do is create a mask of it. So to create a mask, what I will just do is say here obj detected.apply, and here we'll say ROI. Yep, something like that. So after this, what you have to just do is, again I will create a mask, and that will be the contours one after that. And before doing that, for some accuracy, I will add some threshold. Then we will get the contours. So I will say here threshold, and so the threshold arguments are first. What we need is the mask. Then what we need is some arguments. So I will see here 254 and as the threshold, and max value as 255. So these arguments, so threshold you can specify it as 254. So I have also checked it, and the max value it should be 255 most of the time. And in the type, what I will just do is say here cv2 dot thresh binary. Yep. And the next argument is not necessary. And then the next thing what I will just do is just below it I will get the contours. So let's name it as mask or contours. Let's name it as contours. And here what I will just do is see here cv2 dot contours and inside this what I will just do is here, so that function is a find contours. Yep, so it was find contours, and inside this function what I just need to do is specify the image. So that will be, in my case, that will be mask. And then the next thing which will be the mode. So I will see here cv2 dot recto, and so these all modes which you can try, but now what we need is the tree mode. So after this what we need is the method. They will say cv2 dot method cv2 dot chain of blocks simple. So after this what we will do is close the function, something like that. So you can also specify the PHE offset and the contours also. So I will just create here one more list for the detection, and let's see that we have got any errors till now. So great, so we have got no errors. So what I will just do after this is I will create so I will get the contours, the SubContours. So it's a list because we are using the rotatory method. So there are many methods, you can try them out. And here we'll say contours. So list was also a good method in this case, so you can also try that. And here what I will just do is get the area. So I'll say a cv2.contour area, and inside this function what I will just do is specify it our SubContours. So let's add here an if condition. If the area is greater than 100, then just do our operation. So what I will just do is, let me just show you the contours what we have till now. So let's see. So here I will say ROI, and inside the ROI what I will just do here is, after that I will add here some my contours, and after that what I need is I need to show all the contours, and after that I will say here the color which I need. So let's keep the color as, let's say, green, and next the thickness, so let's keep it as 2. So now if I run this, so now you can see we are getting the contours when the vehicle comes. So means we are detecting them. So what I will just need to do is get in the proper form. So you can't work with this form, so you need to make it in some like box or in center X or something like that. So to do that what I will just do is add here an bounding box of it. So I will say X, Y, width and height. So that will be cv2.bounding rect, and inside this we need to specify an array. So that will be our contour. So it will just convert it into the X, Y, width and height, so which will help us to create a rectangle. So what I will just do is I will also add here in the sub variable, I will just name it in bb box. So it will be bounding box, and I will append it in my detections. So here I will say detections.append bounding box. Okay, so you can also use with this, so it will be easier. That's why I am specifying this some extra things also. And after this what I will just do is say here boxes IDs. So I will name it boxes, and then the IDs which I have here I will say tracker.update method which we have just created, and inside this function I will specify the bounding box. Yep, so after this what I will just do is come down. So bounding box is also a list. So after this I will just come out of the function, and here what I will just do is create here one more for loop. Here I will say for box and boxes IDs, and inside this what I will just do is say here X, Y and width and then height equals to our bounding box. And then the next thing what I will just do, just below it I will say add the components, means the rectangle and the text. I will say cv2.putText, and I will add this in my ROI window, so it will automatically be added in the image window. So ROI is just unselected separate section of that image. So if we draw anything on that, so it will be get updated on the image. So here I will put the text as a string of my ID. So the ID right over here will be just as ID. That's what I named it. And then the next thing will be the X and Y. So what I will just do is say here X and Y, and here I will subtract 15, and then the font face, let's keep it as something nice font. Let's try Hershey Simplex. So it's a bit simpler font but also looks nice. And then the font scale, let's keep it as 2, and then the color. So then the color should be something like red. And then the next thing what we need is the thickness. So the thickness should be like also, let's keep it at 2. And then the next thing what I will just do is draw a rectangle also. I will say cv2.rectangle. Inside this also I will specify ROI, so it will also get updated. I'm just going to do is say here comma, and here I will say 0.1, and that will be my X and Y. So let's keep it as my X and Y only. And then for the width and height, here will say X plus width and then Y plus height. And then the next thing is the color, so let's also keep it as red. So here I will say 0,0,255, and if I save this now, so just a sec, yes. So if I save this now, and after this I will add here the thickness. So the thickness should be something, let's think about, let's keep it at 3. That will be also a good amount of thickness. So if we try this out, so here we got an error. So what I will just do here is just bring this back somewhere over here, and I will just add here detection either than the adding the bounding box, and let's also replace this with these things. And one more mistake which I saw right now. So here I have to say ID. So now this error is gone. So now this should work. So if we try it out, it should work properly. So here we still get an error, and that's because if I check the error, I think so it's because in the tracker, if I check the code, so yeah, so it was because the indentation of this was not correct. So if we try this out, so you can see this works. So if I go over here and I will just change this to something like that, so now it should be working. So now you can see it works properly. So thanks for watching, guys.